adventure game. It's called The Assembly. It's kind of a very mysterious storyline. So you play as these two characters, as Madeline and Cal. Madeline's a new recruit, so you're kind of taken in there and you're given an initiation and set all these trials to kind of prove yourself, and we can do some really fun VR stuff with that. And Cal's a kind of experienced scientist who's been there for ages, who's he thinks there's a little bit going on behind the scenes that, you know, and he's not completely comfortable. This is at Crescent Bay. We've got the Morpheus, the new Morpheus next door, but they're both very, very similar experiences. It might be actually one of the first VR games that people play. So you're now playing as Madeline. You're being pushed in on a gurney into the assembly.
Oof, it makes me sick when it's turning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's super uncomfortable. Every sharp turn, I feel like I'm about to hurl.
So how'd that feel?
Oh no, that was terrible. As soon as it started doing turns, I was yeah. Ugh, yeah.
We're figuring out, I think, how to do comfort well, and there's no standards yet because it's so new. Everyone's doing different things. It's going to be a little while, I think, before it kind of shakes out and we realise what the best standards are for, you know, for moving around and doing that kind of stuff.
Quite honestly, what I just did right there felt like I could have done it on Half-Life. I didn't necessarily feel a great sense of scale. I didn't feel something that required a headset. It was more like, well, I'm kind of moving around. I can do that more quickly, but I didn't feel transported necessarily. So what is it? Well, I would love to see anything in the game that sort of better demonstrates what you believe makes this a virtual reality experience.
And press the A button, you can actually go into the microscope. So this is, I think, it's a good demo with VR. You can actually move forwards and back in here. You try sort of moving your head forwards and back, and you can basically spin the virus around, have a look at it, identify it. If you head over there, if you try sticking your head forward again, you know, maybe this isn't the best example, but you can actually go in and have a really good look at and peek around things. And doors just to your left, that one there. How are you feeling?
It's rough. Yeah, I mean, locomotion in virtual reality is just one of those things that has to really be just right. That, oof. Indeed. Well, I look forward to more about the game. Thank you guys so much for the demo. Well, it's time for me to put on yet another headset. Not necessarily the most compelling video for you guys, but if I get as barfy as I did last time, maybe it'll be fun to watch. I'm about to go to something called Dinosaur Island 2. Having just seen Jurassic World, I have a lot of comparison points to go with. So let's get sick, or not. Not get sick.
Using the right and left trigger, each trigger controls a hand. So you can actually turn around with the chair completely and look back as much as you want.
Holy cow. For the person filming me, you have no idea how awesome this currently looks.
It's so much better when you're actually in there, right?
Yeah, it's nice to be able to spin.
Touch the wall and grab onto the flowers, and you see how some debris is going on, so you can actually interact with the wall.
Wow, it's very smooth. I was moving my head around jerkily to simulate waving at a pterodactyl.
No baby dinos were harmed in the making of this demo.
How many Jeff Goldblums were harmed? That's my question. What's up, homie?
You made it to the top. Congratulations. And now look to the left. Left, turn around.
I'm going.
Last one, yep. Right over there.
Very smooth. That's the kind of thing where you get the speed just right, and you don't feel sick, and you can still have, like, you know, in spite of that sense of being floating. When I looked down, I got a sense of scale without that vertigo or sick feeling, which is really crucial. Well, the one thing that made me feel awkward at all was right at the very end when the cliff came right up at me, where it felt like there was a cliff that was about to hit my head. And at that moment, it was a little jarring, but beyond that, for this game here, what platform are you targeting? All of them? Oculus,
for the
Steam
moment,
VR?
it's still to be discussed, the platform.
Okay. Is it more important to get exactly what's right performance-wise, or is it more, or do you feel like you could do it with any platform?
I think so far, I think we could do it with any reasonable platform. We cannot go down certain level of quality in terms of graphics.
Yeah.
So it will have to be a reasonably good graphic card.
Right.
We just give you an idea that there is a story behind, that we will explore things, but it's just a proof of concept of a number of things, basically. Right? We want you to grab objects with your hands, to build things with your hands. We want you to be fully interactive, and we want you to feel that you're inside the world.
It's sort of a wild frontier. So what's been that Wild West feeling for you guys?
In terms of design, it's all the concept of motion, not to get motion sickness, or how to move in a believable way, but kind of it's comfortable. It's also how do you control it, because in this, as you can see here, you aim with the head,
right.
You aim with your hands. So also we have to come up with an idea how to do that with a single controller.
Right.
For the final game, it's likely that we'll use two controllers, for example, at least for if they are climbing or for grabbing objects and building up objects.
How solid is that roadmap? How much is that set so that you can just more refine, and...
We know the key pillars. We know that it's exploration. We have already some tests with grabbing objects, moving them with puzzles and things like that. But it's super early development. It's like we did this in 3 months, and in between we started developing the IP concept. So.
Well, not bad for 3 months.
No, not bad for 3
okay
months,
as well.
right?
Have you experimented with the feeling of terror? Because virtual reality adds that sort of fear factor, and you can go in a dark place when it comes to dinosaurs, just like the idea of raptors surrounding me. And
it depends on the genre you want to do, and also it depends on the people you want your game to be played for. Because to produce fear is very simple, or to produce terror even more simple. You just turn around and you put somebody here in the back, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you get afraid. But is it fun? Are you telling a story there? So that's what we want to do. We want to make a story, and definitely there will be moments where in the game, I mean, day, nights and stuff, there will be moments that it's dark. Maybe we could suggest their things, but I don't think our main intention is just to produce fear for the sake of fear.
I've heard a little bit. Is this the underwater?
It is
game?
the underwater.
Yes.
David Chen with Honor Code, and we're working on a game called Narcosis. It's a deep sea survival story, first-person perspective. It's coming for both standard and VR. And the basic premise is pretty simple. You are trapped at the bottom of the ocean, and you need to find a way to the surface.
What happened to you in your youth that made you want to be trapped underwater in virtual reality?
I can't talk about that. That's why we're making the game, to let that out.
So you're searching for oxygen as you go around, I guess?
You're searching for oxygen, you're searching away from the surface. We're trying to make it a fairly realistic experience, in that there's not really any sci-fi or fantasy stuff.
I see you've got the new Oculus rig.
We do, yeah.
How do you like the results?
It's a challenge for us because we've been used to working on the DK2, and now we have to step up and in addition to making new content for the game, we have to step up our efforts to make sure we can actually...
Right. Has to look good at the additional resolution, and
exactly.
And I'm sure the additional head tracking makes it...
The tracking's great. Actually, the audio is surprisingly good.
The directional audio.
Yeah.
I feel the turning making me a little nauseous there, but
we're still working on different control schemes and stuff like that.
The movement speed was good, but the turning speed was a little bit much. I have problems in the dark, really surrounding me like that. It really feels claustrophobic.
It's a different kind of stressful, but this is definitely more of the dilapidated hospital vibe.
No, but that feeling definitely gets across if that's that stressful feeling's what you're going for.
Now that I'm sort of in this fern over here, I feel like I should always do interviews as if I am about to peek out and a raptor's going to get me, which would be good.